Welcome to Barcelona, bitch. Let the Seikai Taikai begin. Why? And Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2, baby, is the second parts and the uh, following 10 episodes after Part 1 of the final season of the greatest Netflix show of all time, Cobra Kai. Part 1 we got back in July, so yeah, we've wasted a good 4 months for part two. So and those 4 months are sure felt long waiting after that cliffhanger. So Cobra Kai season 6 part 2 tells the story taking place right where part 1 left off, where Danny and Johnny are fully formed Miyagi-Do. There's no Eagle Fang anymore. And they're Miyagi-Do champions and captains. Sam, Robbie, Miguel, Devon, and Dimitri and Hawk are to compete in the world's biggest karate event, the Seikai Taikai, in Barcelona, where they will be competing not only against rival dojo Cobra Kai run by Kreese and Kim, with Turi and now joining their side, but brand new dojos from across the globe. The most formidable and of them all being the undefeated Iron Dragons, which really do they really do fight with an iron fist. Will Miyagi-Do be champions of the Seikai Taikai, or and will Turi go back to the right side? Well, let's find out. This is my penultimate review of Cobra Kai. Granted, I can still make Cobra Kai related content in the future of my channel going forward, but I am going to miss reviewing the seasons. Me and my good pal Frozen Wish Studios, please watch his awesome review of part 2 and his defense video of part 1, because me and him both stood by part 1's side and defended it from all of the backlash it was getting, and Cobra Kai's now become his favorite show, and part 2, I think, cemented the decision to split this final season into 3 parts as more than justified, because part 1, with you thoughts that was the goat of Cobra Kai, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because part 1 was a mere warm up for the sheer mind-blowingly awesomeness of part 2. Holy shit. Part 2 is the almighty goat of Cobra Kai, and TV doesn't get more satisfying than this, folks. Yeah, I could literally praise this season like it's the best thing since sliced bread all fucking day. God knows how season 3 is going to top this, but yeah, but for now, part 2 remains the best of Cobra Kai. As you may have guessed, there's not going to be a single flaw I had with part 2, and yeah, this part 2, it not only made the stakes so much higher than part 1, or everything that part 1 set up has the most badass and beyond epic payoff, but it's not 100% Seikai Taikai. There is more to it, and the twists and the direction that this season takes, well, will legit catch you off guard and have you gasping like over 10 times. So yeah, the on a a gasp meter, this would get a perfect 10. Plus, the Barcelona location is a great change of setting for this season. And to see Miyagi-Do take on a foreigner dojos from other countries expands the franchise of Cobra Kai and makes the stakes feel global and way bigger. Danny and Johnny, they not only fully resolve their rivalry after they weren't on such good terms in the conclusion of part one, but they deal with some heavy personal shit, with Danny getting kidnapped by an assassin hired by uh, Terry Silver and locked in a cage with some dogs. Also, he discovers Mr. Miyaki was not who he thought he was, and there were people literally died in the karate events that Mr. Miyaki was involved in. And Johnny also, you can't imagine what he's going through when he finds out that Carmen the and is hospitalized after there's a problem with her pregnancy. And him and Miguel do take a plane back to the US just to be there for Carmen. And I, yeah, I cheered when Miguel uh, punched that prick's lights out who was bothering Johnny on the plane. I was so worried that Carmen was going to die, but thank heavens they didn't kill her off. Thank she is okay and she's still going to have their baby daughter, which we'll likely see in part three. And even Amanda, you were worried she's barely going to be in part two just because she stayed in the US with Anthony, but no, even she and Anthony get a decent storyline. She gets to play peacemaker to Anthony and Kenny and finally end their bullshit rivalry, just like she did with Sam and Turi. So she it goes to show how wonderful a character she is. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I admit I'm now a Kenny fan, and Kenny had a real redemption here, and I now ship him and Devon going forward. Devon finally uh, confessed to Kenny that she cheated and put that substance in his drink during the race, and he very nobly forgave her. So I not only felt extremely sorry for Devon when she felt like she was no good and was getting demolished, when she was clearly a real fighter out there, but she took accountability for her actions, unlike Dimitri, who's still got growing up to do. Yeah, he's still the most immature of the bunch, as he literally cheats on poor Yasmin by dancing with another girl in the club. So Hawk was right to call him out and phone Yasmin and Moon for that. Yeah, but Yasmin deserves better. I pray that when Dimitri and Jasmine reunite, he gives her a proper apology and realizes what he did was a shitty thing. As for my favorite character, Sam, well, you 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 could you can't call her an unlikable character in this season, Sam Haters, because she does show kindness to Axel, who's seen to be the toughest fighter in the tournament by the majority, and as his sensei is uh, an abusive asshole who beats his students if they fail him. But when Sam kindly turns him down when he attempts to make moves on her, he gets in a strop and vows to kick Miguel's ass until Sam agrees to be with him, which was out of order. But I do love that Sam also sticks up for her dad when Johnny is ranting at the Miyagi-Do students for failing so badly. But she's like, that's your fault, Johnny. If you'd have just taught us her dad's teachings about balance on that beam, they wouldn't have lost the way that they did. So yeah, she played a part in bringing Johnny and Danny closer together in that way. And as for Turi, she may be back with Cobra Kai, but she's still deep down a good person, and you can see she uh, that she's extremely conflicted, and part of her doesn't want to be on Cobra Kai. She only made the decision because she felt like she did didn't have a shot in Miyagi-Do. This leads to some tension between her and Robbie, who he's like, you don't trust anybody but yourself, so he does a dumb thing and cheats on her with Iron Dragon champion Zara. Damn, cheating is a common thing in this season. I think Turi will highly likely discover the truth about what Kreese did to her mum and go back to meet Miyagi-Do shortly in part 3. As for the new characters, the Iron Dragons, they are going to be a fan favorite dojo in this franchise with especially Zara. She is not only a real hottie, but tremendously fun to watch, and she knows how to stir up drama. She does toot her own horn on to her Instagram followers about how she's the badass, unbeaten queen of karate. Yeah, and her rivalry with Turi is one of the most intense in this season. Like I think Turi was realizing, damn, I was too hard on Sam in the earlier seasons because Zara is being even more of a pain in the backside in comparison, and uh, I was not expecting Kim and Chosen to have romantic chemistry, but they make for a kick-ass unlikely couple, and this is showing gradual redemption for Kim. Uh, so I wouldn't be surprised if her and Chosen do become a thing by part 3. Terry Silver's return. Holy smokes! I didn't think we'd see him again, but yeah, his return, certainly, stirred up even more drama, and particularly for Kreese, and it's his fault the that a certain thing happened in the final episode. By the way, which I will get to very soon. But this season flawlessly balanced everything going on outside the Seikai Taikai, as well as the Seikai Taikai itself, and the fights in the Seikai Taikai were on another level of amazing, and you could feel the training that the caster put themselves through for this tournament. You felt sweaty just watching them fight. It keeps you that highly on your toes because what what makes this the darkest uh, 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 set of episodes of Cobra Kai is the characters can literally die in this tournament, like kind of like in the Tri-Wizard tournament in the Goblet of Fire when Cedric tragically died so young, and this very tragically happens with a Cobra Kai student, Kwong, in the final battle when literally all hell breaks loose. I'm so glad the final episode wasn't just the predictable final of the Seikai Taikai. They went for a all-out brawl with all the dojos. That final battle is currently the magnum opus of Cobra Kai fights. It is the shit, and it all starts the moment the Russians, who were disqualified from the tournament for cheating, knock out the host in a fit of rage. And Kwon, the student who Kreese has been especially pushing to a victory, he tells him defeat does not exist. He takes on Axel, but after he loses to Robbie and then Axel, he simply can't accept defeat and grabs the knife that Kreese dropped and lunges it for Axel, but then Axel knocks him down. He stabs himself with the blaze, and you can see the blood pouring from his body, and it's even broadcast on live TV. So even Amanda and Anthony witnessed it. I think this will certainly mature all the younger characters, having seen death in their lives for the very first time. So I think the Seikai Taikai will be cancelled in part 3 after this, and the story will take a whole new direction. I do predict that Axel may be charged with manslaughter for a cruel death, but yeah, I was so speechless by how ballsy that ending was that I just want part 3 now. Do we really have to wait until February 2025? Overall, I'm overjoyed that it's universally agreed upon part 2. It is well uh, a step up from part 1, and yeah, it looks like Cobra Kai is not dragging itself out too long after all, and it is very much still gossip. Just one more part to go, baby.
I give Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 a definite 5 stars out of 5. Best show ever.
So yeah, get your handkerchiefs at the ready, folks, because after my season 6 part 3 review, there will be no more Cobra Kai reviews on this channel, and no more Cobra Kai in general. I mean, why, God, is that sad? And boy, will this show be missed once it all ends. But I'm sure it will go out on with the hugest possible bang and on the highest notes. I have no doubt in the showrunners and writers. And Last of Us season 2, you have some tough competition for best show of 2025. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what was your favorite episode of season 6 part 2? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'll see you next time when I review a Wicked part 1 later this week. Oh, that's gonna be totally wicked. And remember, movies are us. Bye guys.